To you, Capricorns. You Capricorns actually have the Magician, the Seven of Cups, and then you have the Eight of Cups. What's going on here for you is that y'all are in a position where for you, you you Capricorns very much so. A lot of y'all, like I said before, a lot of brand new opportunity and essentially finding out what your opportunities are. The Seven of Cups, the Eight of Cups, indulging in things, not too indulgent, but just starting to get into things and starting to do things that you Capricorns never really had a chance to do, or not much that you've been wanting to do for a long time. And yeah, when you start making any kind of money, anything whatsoever, you start doing the things that you want to do. When there was a point in time where I didn't have any. When I didn't have any, I meant zero. I used to get an allowance, and I got 3 jobs. Right? No, I got the one, and then I just started to pack it up. I was like, all right, whatever, 2, 3, whatever, and then it was connected to my high school. So when I graduated, it was over with. But then the point that I'm trying to make here with that is that now I'm doing this. And like when you get money, any kind of money, the things that you had to wait on, that you never had a chance to, that you really wanted to really do, you get a legitimate chance to actually do those things. And if you don't rein it in, I'll say this, right? It's a little bit of a double-edged sword, because when you start getting money, it's great at the fact that you're able to actually start doing the things that you really want to do. But then at the same time, you're in a position where when you start getting the money, though, you got to really watch out for like the things, like trying to feel like you got to accomplish everything as far as like upgrade everything, right? That's called lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep. But I call it lifestyle inflation because you start feeling like you got to do this, do that, and do this and do that. And that's cool. But the situation with that is a lot of y'all are in position where for you got to figure out how it is that you're going to get and get the money, do the things that you want, but then at the same time, not necessarily go and chase after all of that, and go and look and chase after all of it and do what it is that you got to do and all that other type of stuff and all of that. And so the situation with that is that the World card and the Fool card right here represents how a lot of y'all are in position where for you, Capricorns, the World is Capricorn, by the way. So, and it's very funny because, well, not funny, but it's ironic, I should say, because you Capricorns went from being like the lowly individual, right? What some people will call lowly, or not having a whole lot, to being raised up to now actually having a lot more compared to what you did have when you were younger. And it feels good. It feels good, feels really good for you. I'm not even a Capricorn, but I still applaud thee and everything like that, because, you Capricorn waited for so long. Now it is that you Capricorns actually have it. And I'm sure a lot of you, especially the ones of you who has a head on your shoulders, you're not going to allow it to be good, to go to waste and all of that, which is great. And so the situation with that is a lot of you Capricorns are in position where you feel good about it yourself, obviously, right? You feel good about it, and then this new advancement that you made comes with its own set of issues, right? Comes with its own set of problems, because you got to have strategy now. You got to have a budget. What are you going to do with it? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do with the leftover cash? My suggestion to you is to essentially invest a portion of it. But I'm not a financial advisor. It is what it is. So, you're going to do whatever it is that you want, respectfully. And so with that, right, the Seven of Wands, then you have the Four of Pentacles, and then you have the Two of Swords. So these 3 cards right here for you represent how, and then not only that too, but also just kind of look out for Jake the Snakes, look out for the individuals. And Furthermore, stay away, look out for, and stay away by association from the individuals whom are Jakes the snakes, meaning that they're individuals that only come around and stuff like this because they want something. Because that's another thing too, right? Like, you'll go ahead, do something one time, and then like everybody tripping. And the truth is because a lot of people be in their emotional bag, right? Like, that's one thing that I myself stopped dealing with, that I'm going to go ahead and kind of warn you Capricorns about too, is the fact that, you got a lot of ratchet individuals out here who are hyper emotional and want to project and blame their hyper emotionality on you. And it's like, nah, because it just seemed like everything is cool. And then like you could wake up one day and it just seems like everybody seems to have a problem for no rhyme or reason, right? Like I remember a lot of those days, right? It just happened to me today, somebody who I used to say what up to or whatever without a rhyme or reason just blocked me. Like that type of goofiness, the person's stupid at that point. That's a cocotazo. That's a stupid individual, because that person just did that for what reason exactly, right? They don't have justification to do any of that stuff, right? But that's a person who's a loser. So at the end of the day, that kind of mentality is going to ruin whatever it is that they got going on. Is going to jam them up, because the world is starting to become more and more kind of adversarial towards that, where it's like you just go to work and then you just start something with people, and then people just supposed to take it and be okay with it. No, people will fire you. People will be like, nah, go home. Not only do you go home, you are relieved of your duties effective immediately. You're done. Because especially if the person doesn't have a problem with you, right? Like me, I walk around with BDE, big energy. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not walking around anger in my heart. Look for somebody to fight, tussle with, and have a little dust up with and all that stuff. I say what up to my next door neighbors. Hey, what's up? If I see them, I say what's up to my next door neighbors. Hey, how you doing? Even though they could be nosy, but I say what up to my next door neighbors. Hey, what's up? What's going on with you? How you doing? All that good stuff, right? Whatnot. I'm not walking around with this. Oh, I'm go ahead. All that stuff is goofy. That's the type of stuff that I used to do when I was a teenager. And so you got to watch out for that, right? Like people who come at you, Capricorns, who feel like you got to give them something, even though you may not even know them. Sometimes you may not even know them like that. Sometimes you may see them around the block, and but they coming to you with the energy of, oh, you do something for them. Because the truth of the matter is that, especially if you out here, you doing what it is that you're doing, people count how many bags you got. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you, Capricorns. People be counting. You know what I'm saying? Like, people. I can tell you instances, but I'm not even gonna go there, right? Real life instances, but people be counting. And so the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Swords right here represents how a lot of you Capricorns are in position where what you got going on is y'all are very much so very empowered, because y'all just gotta, you Capricorns just gotta do y'all thing. You know what I mean? And just and keep the money how you want it to be, and not just the money, but take care of yourself. You don't owe anybody anything. Like I understand if you want to do a little something or whatever the case may be, but don't go broke trying to help everybody and do everything like that. You know what I'm saying? The Five of Cups and the Seven of Swords right here represents, because this, what in the world? Oh, the Five of Cups right here represents how this is a situation for you where a lot of you are very much so it's how do I say this? You're gonna be caught off by surprise at how many times people try to come at you like this, right? And it may end up breaking your heart, because you Capricorns may feel like on one hand, you feel like you may have to do something because you ain't like disrespectful. But then again, at the same time, this is what I mean when I say, having survivor's remorse will mess you up, right? You have survivor's remorse because you're not insane. But then at the same time, do what it is that you got to do. Live your life. Because if you don't live your life worthwhile, who's going to do that for you? You know what I'm saying? Nobody. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Five of Cups. Five of Swords, Queen of Swords, the Emperor, the Seven of Pentacles, and then the Nine of Swords. So these three cards right here so far, these are about how you're in position where for you, a lot of you very much so are in position to where you, Capricorns, excuse me, and just never mind about like, how do I say this? Like, never mind about any of the stuff that it is that people say. Let them do what it is that they feel like they want to do. I had to let go of a lot of stupid individuals today, as a matter of fact, or whatnot. A lot of people woke up on the wrong side of the pillow today, and I just basically shipped them out. I'm like, oh, nah, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of here, because I have a plan. Trust me, I have a plan. Things aren't what they seem. Things are not what they seem. But anyway, so the situation with that is the Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. All those individuals that woke up on the wrong side, they screwed themselves over royally. So we're playing the loyalty game. We're playing the value game. And they didn't want to show me anything. Okay, well, you messing up because you don't know about the finances. You want it so bad. A lot of them want it so badly, but they don't know about it. I'm richer than what I appear. But anyway, so now this is a situation for you Capricorns where, again, you continue to do your thing. Focus. What do you want your life to look like? Think about it. Figure it out. Truly think about it. Figure it out. What do you want your life to look like? And then when you figure it out, now the best thing for you Capricorns to do is to essentially make a plan around that, right? One of my end goals is to essentially, get enough bread to essentially start visiting, because I know what it is I'm doing. One of my end goals is to essentially get enough bread to go to other countries and to potentially live. You dig what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to do is, a lot of people so goofy. I'm trying to speak to some of the locals there. They don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's real weird how people be moving. I be asking them, like, what's the like, what is such and such? Like, how much would I need? And the person is like, well, I don't know. Well, I don't know either. That's why I'm asking you, what is like, okay, like, if I do this, like, what would be the cost of living? Like, what exactly would be the cost? I'm asking what would be the cost of living because you live there. That's why it is that I'm asking. And so far, one person basically can tell me that. Shout outs to her, as a matter of fact. She lives in the Philippines. Shout outs to her. She knows who she is. And so I'm checking into that. I'm probably going to do my own personal research myself, because you leave it to stupid individuals to do anything for you. And it's like, but the point that I'm trying to make here with that is that, so what's happening here with that is, a lot of you are in position where you Capricorns need to have an end goal, right? Like, what exactly is your end goal, right? I'm going to continue to invest in my stock portfolio till it reaches 10,000. Then I'm going to let the dividends do the job, save the cash, pay my bills with it, start to look into other countries. Like, this stuff is already happening. Like, you feel me? I'm only basically $200 away from my stock portfolio being 10 grand, and then I'll let the stocks do its thing, right? And then at that point, then I'll, like I said, save my money, pay my bills, stuff like this, right? Run a business. And then as it is that I do that, so I'm looking to move to a different country. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily full time, but potentially part time. You know, uh, to live essentially, and depending on what is the cost of living there, I may decide to relocate. That was always a part of the plan for about 2 years now, since 2023. So once you Capricorns have figured out a plan, the next thing for you to do is to now figure out what is the necessary steps for you to actually go about getting it. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Peace.